And spots on behalf of the Dallas Area Chamber of Commerce Community Affairs. Today is Thursday, October 30th. I hope I get the week and the month and the year correct. And our guests, plural, this morning, Jesus Mendoza and Sara Crook, with the link that is Mid-Columbia Economic Development District's public transit in the Dalles. And we're going to learn all about downtown passes and related topics, anything we want to know about downtown transportation. I know I've got some questions. Look forward to hearing from all of you. So I'm going to go around the room and do the Brady Bunch routine here, and please go ahead and identify yourself and any updates from your organizations for the good of the order. This is recorded. It goes on the chamber website. Oftentimes the paper will join in, and in fact, we saw a story on the front page of the paper that resulted from one of these meetings last week on St. Paul's Chapel. So I'm going to start with Trish Neal up in my upper left. Trish, would you like to go ahead?
Yes. Good morning. I'm Trish Neal. I am a chamber member. I actually live in Alaska, but I'm with Legal Shield, and happy to see friendly faces and new faces.
Thank you, Trish. Corliss Marsh.
Morning, everyone. Corliss Marsh. I'm with Habitat for Humanity and the library and the senior center. Coming up Saturday is library is having Day of the Dead from 12 to 4. You're all welcome.
Good to know. Thank you. Jesus, could I ask you not to share your screen quite yet? Thank you, sir. So I can be sure not to miss anybody up here.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
I apologize.
No worries whatsoever. Roger Nichols.
Thank you. Roger Nichols, roving reporter, as you might say. A couple of things from Klickitat County's meeting on Tuesday. One is, and this is kind of cryptic, they said they had a bridge that was going to be repaired because what Washington does, and I don't know if Oregon does, they have these what they call road haul agreements. So one of the companies is putting in, say, a wind farm or something that could cause a lot more traffic. They actually charge them for amount to keep the road repaired after they're all done with the project. So that's something to be aware of. And on the Gulp side, the insurance pool that insures Klickitat, Skamania, and a bunch of the other counties decided rates are going to go up 30%, and they had budgeted for 20%. So that's going to be interesting for next year. We're all going to face that, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid so. Roger, thank you for those updates. Wow. Julie Reynolds. Oh, Julie, you're muted.
Sorry, I was making notes on what I was supposed to say. I'm with Fort Dallas Museum Commission and represent the Museum Commission on the city's historic landmarks commission. And also one of my favorite projects right now is working with the Historic Chapel Planning Committee. And thank you for hosting that program last week. It seems to have led to a really nice article in the newspaper. Also, I'm on the diocesan, the Episcopal Diocese Standing Committee, which makes decisions about property, and they were really overwhelmed and impressed with the things that we're doing with the chapel.
A beautiful building. Thank you, Julie. Vesta Smith.
Good morning. I am just Vesta Smith. I'm retired and always like to keep up on what's going on in the community.
Thank you, Vesta. Scott McKay.
Good morning, everyone. Scott McKay. I am currently a volunteer for Circles of Care here in the Dalles. And Circles of Care is kind of like on hiatus. We aren't taking any new individuals who are looking for some kind of periodic support, but we're still supporting those that are in the system. So thank you.
Sure. Scott, if people are interested, please go ahead. Let's everyone put your contact information in the chat box so they have that on record. And if they'd like to learn more about Circles of Care, they know how to reach you. Does that work okay? Great. Tonya Brumley.
Good morning.
bright and early and dark today out here in Dufur, but so I'm working from home this morning and with Northwest Natural. But in this role today, I just wanted to support MCHED. I'm also on the MCHED board, and as a board member for MCHED, I represent the Oregon Chambers. So many of you may not know that. I've been doing that for quite some time. And in case they don't mention it, one invitation I want to make sure you're aware of, especially for this group, is next, I believe it's next Friday, is the Economic Development Symposium for the Gorge, the Columbia Gorge, and it's going to be in the ruins down in Hood River. So if you haven't registered and you'd like to attend, go to the MCHED website. Pretty much everyone from all over the Gorge attends. It's really great. There is a maximum, so if there is limited seating.
That's a great reminder. Thank you, Tanya. That's an important annual event. It's a great way to know what's going on around the region. Commissioner Brady, Phil Brady.
Good morning, Phil Brady, Wasco County Commissioner. And Lisa, is that next Thursday or next Friday? Or Tanya?
The 7th, I believe, is a Friday because I'm actually off and I'm not going to be able to make it. So it's next Friday.
Okay. On Thursday night before that, then, if this shows up, screening of No Place to Grow Old. This video documentary was filmed in Portland, I believe, and it's going to be screened next Thursday the 6th at the Granada Theater. I'm putting, I said, the Mid-Columbia Housing Collaborative is leading this.
Thank you, Phil. Other information from the county, updates from the county?
Not this early in the morning. I'm a big fan of transportation, so I'm going to just be off screen today.
Thank you, Phil. Jacob Anderson.
Good morning, Jacob Anderson, Economic Development Officer here at the City of the Dalles. I'd just like to put in a plug for the meeting tonight at 5:30 here in the council chambers as well as online. We're going to be discussing all of the large construction projects going on in downtown this next year. It's going to be busy. There's going to be lots of road closures and detours. So we want everybody to sign in and hear the updates on that. And I can just respond to one thing to Roger, and that is about Klickitat County and insurance costs going up. Oregon does not have that same issue with our municipal services because we have tort reform in Oregon where Washington doesn't. So insurance costs about 1/10 the cost as it does in Washington.
Yeah, there's one for the Washington legislature to consider. Thank you, Jake. Jake, I've got that meeting on my calendar for tonight. If I may ask you to put the link in the chat box again.
Happy to.
Yeah, you did so last week, and I appreciated that. Mike Wacker.
Good morning, everybody. I'm on the board for Fort Dalles Museum and the board, Kiwanis Club board. Kiwanis Club will be lining up the Veterans Day Parade on the 11th, which we've done for years. Most of you probably know Carl Verkudran. He did that for decades, actually, so we truly miss Carl. And I believe the last boat is in town, the American Cruise Line, the 11th of November, and it looks like the museum will close for the season on the 15th of November. So if you want to get in the museum, you don't have much time.
And it's a great place to visit before the season closes in. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that update. Misa Olson.
Good morning. I'm going to be off camera because I am traveling, but I'm with the Vocational Rehabilitation Workforce team. And as many of you who receive federal funding know, we are trying to serve more people with less funding. Just sat in on the workforce board meeting yesterday, and it looks like one of our targeted populations is emerging workforce, so youth, which is good because that's one of those populations that VR can serve pretty well. And because if you aren't familiar, we're in our order of selection, which is a wait list right now for new people wanting to receive VR services. So there is a wait list for incoming, but youth is one of those populations that we can serve without being on a wait list. And so you may be hearing from me because a lot of times we're looking for work-based learning opportunities from our employers. So that could be something as simple as a job shadow or an informational interview, or even, we have on-the-job training and internships that we're looking at as well. So we're always happy when employers understand the value of getting those students into the workplace to actually see, what kinds of careers there are for them. So that is my spiel, and I am looking forward to that economic symposium.
Thank you, Misa. That's a great program. I started in newspapers thanks to a mentorship on the Hood River News back in 1976, and OJT after that. So, one of many examples of students learning
That's
in the
fantastic.
real world, starting out. I'm going to change hats really briefly because as of last night, I was officially appointed to the board of One Community Health, and an organizational update from that fantastic regional group is that we've hired 3 new dentists in the program and are whittling away at a long wait list. Misa, you mentioned your wait list. Long wait list on the dental side for dental care for Medicaid, Medicare patients there. So that's helpful. I'm just learning more about the organization, so I don't want to get out of my depth here, which I would. And I will be giving periodic updates myself on behalf of One Community Health. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Sara Crook and Jesus Mendoza with the link of Mid-Columbia Economic Development District. Jesus, I think
Thank you,
you were
Dan.
co-host, and I'm going to go ahead and make Sarah co-host as well.
Okay,
But
yeah. So my colleague has informed me that she would like to share the presentation online. So she'll go ahead and share her screen.
Okay, hang on just a second here. All right,
But
Sarah, you should now be co-host.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry if I was a little bit late. My computer wanted me to verify myself several different times, so just had to wake my computer and myself up. I am Sara Crook. I work with Mid-Columbia Economic Development District. I am the travel trainer for Hood River and Wasco counties. Travel trainer is just essentially a bus educator. I help our community members with a focus on older adults and disabilities to get to ride our public transit independently. And then Jesus, you want to introduce yourself?
yeah, my name is Jesus Mendoza. I am the Transportation Operations Manager for the link.
Awesome. And we were here today to just share some updates with you. I'm going to share about our updates to our new Gorge Transit website. And then Jesus will share updates for our new route changes and link transportation changes. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the tool itself, our Gorge Transit website. Real quick, is everyone here familiar with our Gorge Transit and our Gorge Pass? Or should I just do a quick rundown of our public transit area and our services?
Sarah, before you do so, just FYI, you're having a bit of a signal glitch there. I see you freezing up on my screen.
Oh, okay.
Just FYI, you're but let's see if it doesn't interfere with the screen share. But go ahead, please.
Well, let me turn off my video. See if that helps. And then if it keeps happening, then I will turn it over to Jesus and he can take the floor. So
cool.
So this is our Gorge Transit website. This is your one. Nope, is it still happening?
It's not. No, it's not showing. At least on my screen, folks. Are you seeing the screen share?
Yes.
All right.
You are? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. For some, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me know if you're having issues at any point in time. I am a mobile hotspot. So, so gorgetransit.com, our one-stop shop for all your bus public transportation information of the Gorge. Just a quick reminder, our public transportation system is made up of 4 different fixed route systems in 4 different counties. It is Hood River, Wasco, Klickitat, and Skamania. And those 4 counties work together to provide service from Gateway to Goldendale. Okay, so on the landing page, to note is if there's any alerts. As you can see, as of today, right now, there was an alert that hasn't been taken down yet on the 28th for an accident. There's been some alerts up there about the Columbia Gorge Express suffering some delays coming from Portland due to construction. And then this is a brand new plan your trip tool you can use, entering your starting and ending destination, and it can go ahead and draw out your trip for you. If we come up here to the tabs, we have our schedules, and as you can see, it shows each county and also each fixed route that county provides. And we'll come back to that in a second because I know Jesus wants to talk about the new route system, but I'm just going to go through the tabs first, and then we'll come back and talk about the updated routes and schedules we have. The second tab is all about the fares, how to purchase it online, and where you can purchase the physical pass. Again, we do have our Gorge Pass, which is $40 for adults, $20 for 17 and under. And this is a yearly pass, good for the day you buy it in 365 days. You can have it online, or you can have a physical pass that you can buy at any of the transit offices. The unique thing about the physical pass is if you were to purchase it, they punch the month you purchase it in. For example, if you were to go in and purchase your physical pass on November 1st, they'll punch it on for November, and your pass will be good until the end of November in 2026. So a physical pass does, if you are a budget-friendly person like me, does give you just a week or 2 of extra writing depending on when you buy it in the month. Are there any questions about the Gorge Pass? Okay. Some folks sometimes have questions about that. Oh, and then again, you do not need to have your Gorge Pass to ride our bus. You can ride our bus a la carte per ride. The majority of our local routes are $1. For example, the Dalles to Hood River is $1. The Dalles to Goldendale is $1. Hood River to Cascade Locks $1. Hood River to Parkdale is $1. And that's $1 per ride. But having the Gorge Pass makes it convenient. And if you are a frequent rider of the bus, your pass can generally pay for itself in less than a month. Yes, Brady.
Yes, it's I use the Gorge Pass, and often mostly to go up to Portland to get to Gateway. From Gateway, you can get to the airport and back home. Have to make that link work. It is working pretty well. The Gateway link and then connecting to Hood River. Now that it's wintertime, I'm wondering, will the Gorge Pass take me up to Mount Hood Meadows?
Yes. So I was just in the staff meeting yesterday, and they're discussing times. It looks like the Gorge to Mountain bus will be running from mid-December, roughly, until the end of March. And yes, your Gorge Pass will cover your trip on the Gorge to Mountain bus.
Thank you. That's great.
Yes. Okay. On the third tab is our travel train tab. When you have a moment, please take a moment and look at our videos. They are in English and in Spanish. So just a general overview of our system, what a travel trainer is, our accessibility, how to use this tool. And also, we do have a travel trainer on the Washington side, and her name is Eve Elderwell, and she works part-time with Skamania and Clickitat County residents. She actually works full-time for the Next Door. So if you do much work with the Next Door, you might have worked with Eve. And then this is a brand new tab that I'm hopelessly addicted to. Well, I've gone down the rabbit hole here on this bus stop accessibility. So they've mapped out all the bus stops at on all the routes, letting you know about each bus stop. So for example, let's click on this one. This is the bus stop at Multnomah Falls. And so it tells you about the seating, the surface, nearest parking, nearest bathroom. For this one specifically, it says that it's pay access that leads to bathrooms. But if we go, let's see.
Sarah, are you
Down.
there?
I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Okay. I was just gonna scroll right down here to the link, and let's see what, and if you see all the jumble, and this is in the process of being updated, but this will give you an idea of how many bus stops there are along our routes. And you click on a bus stop and there's a bathroom at Home Depot. Or you pick 10th and Pomona, it shows that generally the closest bathroom is 20 minutes away. So it gives you an idea if you're planning your trip. As I'm working with older adults, I've come to realize that's one of the main questions is where is the closest restroom? And so I just find this accessibility tab extremely helpful. It tells you if there's accessible parking, where the closest bathroom is, what to expect in your surroundings. It's a very nice tool to have under the accessibility tab. And then also this tab here, accessible Gorge. This is really awesome. It focuses mainly on, and it actually, yeah, it's going to take a little bit to load up. So I'm not going to load it up because it takes quite a bit of bandwidth, but it breaks it down. You want to take a trip to White Salmon, you click on White Salmon. It lets you know what is, if it's wheelchair accessible, if the bathrooms are accessible, if there are stairs or ramps, or just generally helping you plan your trip to a particular city or town in the Gorge, meeting your accessibility needs and finding out if that town is going to work for you or not. So it is a great tab to have. And then the trip free tab is also going to take a few minutes to load, so we're not going to look at that, but that takes you to the Gorge Pass page, where it gives you plenty of trip ideas on how to use your pass and how to get to trailheads, or when you get to Mosier, what's there to do. And so there's different trips and trip ideas under this tab. I wanted to share more specifically the More tab with you. So this is a great tab, kind of covers everything that you're not going to find in the other tabs. But for the Dalles, under programs, we have the Dalles Business Pass program. And so I wanted to share this in case you are not aware. The City of the Dalles and MCED have partnered together to provide employees and residents below 12th Street free Gorge passes. And you can access that information under the More tab, but more importantly, you can access how to sign up. So if you know of a residence below 7th Street, and or any community member downtown that is interested in a bus pass, encourage them to fill out the form, even if they're unsure if they live within the boundary or not. I've had a few residents reach out and they did not live within the boundary, but in my conversations with them, I discovered that I can help them with a pass through a different program that we are running through with the link. So if there's a residence and they're unsure, please have them fill out this pass. And then any businesses, please help their employees get passes by having them fill out this pass. But that is under the More tab. And then, of course, it's just our policies and a lot of other videos and information to share. Any questions? I kind of blew through that a little fast. Any questions before we get to all the latest and new exciting updates?
Sarah, while I'm thinking about it, if you'd be sure to, before the end of the meeting here, put your contact information and that any links that you'd like to put it about this
Sure.
topic in the chat box. Thank you.
I will mention that Sarah also runs the Gorge Transit Connect, which is a program that we have to support low-income, elderly, disabled individuals who might have the need to buy a Gorge Pass. So we offer free or discounted passes to our local our partners and organizations that work with those individuals. So if anyone here is interested or knows of an organization that is not part of the program, you can reach out to Sarah and then she can walk through the process of joining. And it's just a great way. We hear a lot of times that $40 it can be a lot for individuals who are living on a fixed income. So this is a way that we support those individuals around the Gorge.
I tried to raise my hand, but couldn't figure out how to do it. Question is, how do you pay for an individual ride? Do you need cash or do they accept cards?
So cash to driver, they don't give change. And if we take a look back at this map on the homepage here, it's easy to remember that essentially Sherman County has a route for residents. That's why they're on the map, but they don't have a fixed route that covers the Gorge Pass. But Goldendale, the Dalles, White Salmon, 2 Cascade Locks, 2 Parkdale, that's all considered local. Those are all $1. Beyond Cascade Locks, you're looking at $10 a stop. Beyond Parkdale, it's $10 a stop. So, or more accurately for the Gorge to Mountain, it's gonna be $10 round trip. So, and that's cash to driver. You can go online, specifically to the RideCat bus website to purchase one single fares, or go into the transit office and make change or purchase fares through the transit office. But having the pass is the most convenient. So
Thank you for asking, Julie. Jesus, Sarah,
I'm gonna actually turn this over to Jesus now. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm
okay.
gonna let Jesus go ahead and share the latest updates for the link.
Oh, okay. Dan, I do want to share. I think the easiest, I'm going to share my screen, and I want to go into this tab where I have all the schedules. So thanks again, everyone. Again, my name is Jesus Mendoza. I'm the Transportation Operations Manager for the link. And I just want to talk a little bit about the link because the link started in 1997. A lot of people are always shocked to hear that we've been providing services since 97. And it started off providing dial-a-ride service, which is a door-to-door service for individuals who needed. It was mostly dedicated for like elderly and disabled individuals. And then throughout the years, we thought of ways of coming up with other alternatives that would support the general public, which we introduced the deviated fixed routes that I will talk about. But we also have other shuttles. So we have a shopping shuttle in the Dalles. So it operates every Monday and Wednesday. It starts about 9 a.m. and it goes to about 3 p.m. And this shuttle is really dedicated for individuals who need additional time shopping. So they get to choose where they want to go. So we go to Fred Mars, Safeway, Home Depot. Individuals are just going, wherever they need to go to get what they need. Every first Friday, we provide a trip to Hood River. So the folks like to get out of town. So we go to Walmart, we go to Rosar's where they have lunch. It's just a fun way to get elderly individuals out of their homes who would normally not have that opportunity. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we offer a South County shuttle, which we go to Maupin, Dufur, Tye Valley, Pine Hollow, and Wamak. So a lot of folks I'm seeing more and more folks using this service. And brilliant way folks are using it. It's like when they have their vehicle in the shop, they'll take the link to pick up their vehicle or to drop off the vehicle. They'll use our service to get back home and not have to pay a taxi, which would probably be $80 to $100 to get back home. And that service is $5 round trip. Again, it's a great way to use it. And most recently, we partnered with South County, or the school in Maupin. So they received some food, and we've been helping deliver that from the Dalles into Maupin, because the agency that provides the food didn't really have the opportunity to drop it off because of the distance. So we just partnered with them. We're like, okay, if you can drop it off on a Tuesday or Thursday, we'll gladly drop it off. And it's a great way to help the community out there as well. And then we also offer the intercity service. So it operates from the Dalles to Hood River 5 times a day, 3 times on the weekends. So like Phil mentioned, it's a great way if you're trying to connect with the Columbia Gorge Express, if you're trying to commute for work, or if you're trying to get to the airport, you can make those connections, and just it saves you a lot of time and money to get to your destination. So today the main focus is the deviated fixed route. So over the last 2-3 years, we've worked hard to completing the transit development plan, which is a 20-year plan for Wasco County and what transportation looks like. And one of the things that we heard back from the community members was that our deviated fixed routes were too long. So they wanted to reduce the wait time of the bus, waiting for the bus, and also like the travel time. So what we did was created a bi-directional fixed route. And I'll go ahead and show the map really quick.
Jesus,
yes.
Maybe a quick definition. What is a deviated fixed route?
Oh,
I know.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So a deviated fixed route, it's a route with key destination points that goes around, like, for example, on this map, we're going around every hour. We're servicing all these key destination points. So for example, individuals can catch the bus at the Dalles Transit Center, like if they live on the west side of town, and then they can go to One Community Health, they can go to Goodwill, Columbia Gorge Community College, or the hospital. And then what that means is that we'll be back in an hour to pick up, like if they want to go back home, we'll pick them up in an hour. So it just serves key destination points at key times. And you will see our timetable. So we have a timetable, and it shows, what time we depart from the transit center, what time we'll be at the Dalles High School. And then our opposite route, which is traveling the opposite direction, will have a different time point.
So the pickup point can be slightly off of one of the routes that we see here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So key destinations at certain times. And like I was mentioning, individuals really wanted to reduce that wait time. They don't want to travel. We were going to Water's Edge. We were going to the port, where there was some ridership, but there was a lot of deadhead. So what the deadhead meant was, in order to get from the hospital to Water's Edge, it was a 20-minute just trying to get there. So a lot of folks were like, well, I don't use the service because it takes me a long time to get to my destination. It's easier for me to just catch a ride with a friend. So what we did is created this new bi-directional route. One of the benefits is, like, it allows more opportunity to travel in both directions, and individuals just get to the where they have to go faster. One example would be like if somebody is living at the annex, they could catch the bus at the Veteran Service Office, and they can get to the Gloria Center within 15 minutes, right? But before, they would have to wait, 30, 45 minutes to make that same trip. Another benefit is that we're trying to focus like how do we get people employees who work downtown faster to work, right? Because a lot of times we're like, hey, I'm trying to use the service, but it doesn't get me to work on time. So what we did is our red line goes directly downtown. So you will see that it travels on 3rd Street, it loops around, and then it travels back on 2nd Street. So this gives employees who are working downtown, who want to go have a beer or just visit for shopping, the opportunity to use the service more often and more frequently. The bus is going through. So this, wow. Our timetable is here below. We are waiting to update the accessible bus stop. So what happened was it took like a year to prepare this, and then we changed the bus route. So now we have to go in and modify that again. So as Sarah mentioned, we're still working on it, but you can download the schedules. You can look at the connecting routes. So it connects with the Dalles to Hood River and then the Dalles to Goldendale. So if anyone wants to go from the Dalles to Goldendale, they're able to make that connection. And I will also share the red line, which is and Phil, you have a question?
Go ahead, Phil.
Before you, don't want to sound picky, the Veteran Service Office is no longer there at the foot of Federal Street. It's now in the Moscow County building. But I do know the bus still passes by there, and it's a nice spot because it has a bathroom available. Maybe call that the Federal Street Plaza, anticipating what will become there.
Great point. Federal Street Plaza.
Second that motion. Yeah, that's a great name, but so it's still Phil, it's still located on that route. It's in the county offices building there on between 2nd and 3rd, right? Go ahead, Jesus.
Yeah, so and we have talked with the city, and they will have a stop there. So it'll just be right now we kind of we loop around, go through 1st Street in order to access Veteran Service Office. But when the plaza comes in, we'll be able to stop right on 2nd Street, so we don't have to go around the block. So even makes it more efficient for riders. And Phil, if you want to type in that name in the chat box so we can capture that, that'd be great. And then, okay, so moving on to the red route. So the red route travels the opposite direction of the blue route. So again, just trying to make the fixed route more efficient. They stop at the same stops, but just like on the opposite side of the streets. So it's just a way to just make it quicker. Individuals can decide if they live on the east side or west side of town, which of the routes to take based on the timetables that we have listed here below. Our service hours are Monday through Fridays on the fixed route. So we operate from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The last trip is a little tricky because we see fewer riders, but what we try to do is connect individuals who are coming from Portland, who are coming from Hood River, and trying to get them back to their final destination. So we just kind of go based on the ridership data and where we're seeing that the majority of people are being dropped off, and that's kind of what determines like this last leg here. And it just also provides enough time for our drivers to clean the buses, sanitize them, get them ready for the next day. Julie?
How many buses operate? Is it just one bus on the red route all the way around, or there's several buses running that route at a time?
Yeah, so we operate two. So we have like the morning driver. So from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. it's only one driver on both the blue and red line. At 11 a.m. Our second driver comes in. So during the peak time, which is 11 to 2 p.m. we operate with 2 drivers on the same route. So 2 on the red, 2 on the blue, which just kind of even expedites that a little quicker, more service during the peak hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then after our morning driver is usually typically off about 3:15, and then so the slow time between 3 and 4 or 3 and 7 p.m. we operate with 1 driver, and it's just kind of a way to expand our resources. We do have limited resources, so it's just a way to provide service with the resources that we have.
Jesus, just amazing perspective. I don't want to interrupt, but you mentioned 1997. I remember when this was all being discussed, but it was just a tiny fraction of what the organization has accomplished, and that was back with Council of Government. So I know MCHED inherited this, and you've taken it to new levels entirely. But please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. And so one of the things that we've heard, specifically like Water's Edge, they're the largest provider of medical here in the Gorge. And so we removed the Water's Edge stop so we could make it more efficient for the majority of the folks to ride who use the service who weren't going to Water's Edge. But we did hear that, hey, some individuals were impacted, especially those who were low income, who relied on the fixed route to get to physical therapy. So we are working on a new dial-a-ride Gorge pass. So it's kind of like we're still finalizing that. Our goal is to launch it December 1st. But what will it be? It will be a $80 Gorge pass, and individuals will be able to use it not only on the fixed route, but also dial-a-ride service. So right now, each of our dial-a-ride ride is $2. So if somebody's using it frequently, they would benefit from getting this pass because it's only $80 for a full year, and they would be able to get to Water's Edge. They would be able to get to the food bank, and also be able to connect with all the other local providers who are serving the Gorge. And that's just kind of was one of the solutions that we came up with to make up for that loss that we took to make the routes more efficient. So again, if $80 seems like a lot but we have funds to offer those for free to individuals who are low income. And again, what we want to do is you want to join our Gorge Transit Connect program in order to provide those passes.
Let's hear we have a question for Phil.
Is it possible that Medicaid could cover part of that pass?
No. So because it would be like double dipping to funds, right? So Medicaid has their own set of federal funds that cannot be used for public transit because they do what Medicaid offers is NEMT, so non-emergency medical transportation, and they contract with Pacific Source or Pacific Source contracts with Motive Care to provide those trips for individuals who need to get to doctor's appointments. So yeah, so when Kathy would have a lot to say on this topic, but yeah, it's just like the funding, right? The funding, the requirements is that we cannot use those Medicaid fundings to pay for like a pass like this because they have like their own money to provide other services. Yeah, so that is the most newest information that we have. Again, it's just a great way to get around town. If you work downtown, or if you have employees who work downtown, know people, they have access to free passes, and we have a ton of those. So the city of the Dallas has been very generous and helping us provide these free passes. So I highly encourage anyone who can benefit from it from reaching out to us and requesting the free pass.
Jesus, I would have a question on funding. The service is so affordable. Of course, it's subsidized. Is that through state, federal, And you have a read on the situation, given some of the federal budget issues.
Yeah. So we do get state and federal funds. It's absolutely subsidized 100%. You know, it's hard to pay. Our service is very expensive, right? We got a lot of fuel, a lot of drivers, everything else that goes into paying the drivers, like insurance, that type of thing. Obviously, like $1 a trip will not cover our expenses. It's really subsidized. The legislation just passed, it increased the STIF funding by 1%. So the payroll tax dollar will increase, but then it will also go back to its normal 1% when it expires. So we would only have like a year and a half to use that funding, and then it will go back. So right now we're just trying to sustain our services. We're not trying to expand because it's a bad time to do so with the uncertainty of funding. Right now, what we want to do is just have the service that we're offering at the sustainable level, keep providing that service, because we know it's important for elderly individuals who or low-income individuals who don't have a car. So we don't want to do anything that's going to put us in a bad situation 2 years from now.
So the federal budget bill that passed, it does continue to support the service?
It does. It for the next 2 years.
For the next 2 years.
Yeah. So I'm not. I know there's talk about a referendum. And you know, one of the things is like we might not see that. We might not see it. Yeah. So we might not see that money depending on what happens. So it's just there's a lot of uncertainty. ODOT has advised us to, you know, hey, just keep your services. Don't do anything crazy that's gonna, you know, it's gonna backfire on us.
And that's the state transportation legislation that passed. I understand that there's some opposition to that potential signature campaign for the November 2026 election, and that isn't triggered until Governor Kotek signs that bill, which I think is November 12th is the deadline for that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about the shutdown? Is that affecting you?
No. So we're covered for the next 18 months.
Good.
So our service will not stop, and we're already looking at ways like how do we save on money so we can, you know, continue to sustain the services. So that's kind of what we're looking at now, preparing for what's to come to ensure that our local residents have a way to get to work, to get to medical appointments, and that type of thing.
That is so encouraging. This whole thing was driven by those needs. It was an unmet need back in the 90s. And the demand has only increased. Then you look at all the vital services that you are connecting people with, not only here in the Dalles, but through the broader network, Mount Adams Transportation, and so forth. It's amazing, and let's keep it going. Other questions for Jesus? All right.
So I don't have a question for Jesus, but I did want to mention real quick to take a moment and take a look at the Gorge Transit website to look at the brand new schedule that is happening for Upper Valley and Hood River. This is also extremely brand new and very exciting for residents in Upper Valley to Parkdale. Columbia Area Transit is now going to Parkdale 4 times a day, 5 days a week on a set schedule, and they are also building out bus stops. It's going to take a little while, you know how paperwork is, but it is a brand new fixed route serving residents for Upper Valley. So just wanted to make sure I pass that along, and when you have a moment, take a look at that website and check it out. It's pretty cool. So
Sarah, that is something that people can connect with through the transportation center on the west side of town?
So it starts at CAT, and it starts at the Columbia Area Transit, and then it hits several existing bus stops, including Walmart and One Community Health in Hood River, and makes its way out through Tucker Road, through Odell, hitting the existing stop and the market there, and then goes through Odell, goes out to Highway 35, and then back into Parkdale, hitting the existing stop at McIsaac's. Currently, they're putting the finalization on making Mount Hood Town Hall an existing stop, the one they already stop at for the Gorge to Mountain. So that'll be a year-round stop. And they're working on putting in stops there by the food bank. And also, when it comes through Odell, it comes through on Y East Road, which is right there by the middle school and the fairgrounds. So putting a stop Monday through Friday, 4 times a day, right there by the middle school and fairgrounds in Upper Valley, I think would help a great deal. So they're working on those stops. And if you guys visit Upper Valley and have an idea where a bus stop might be better situated as they're building out that route, they would love to hear from you. So you could always go and contact Kat and say, hey, here's the suggestion. They'd love to hear it.
So Sarah, the cat does come into the Dalles, though, the connection point.
No, the
It-
link.
The
The link
link.
goes from the Dalles to Hood River.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great.
With the stop in Mosier also. Make sure, remember that stops in Mosier.
Ah, okay.
Well, thank you everyone for having us. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Other questions around the table? All right. If not, our guest this morning, Sara Crook, Jesus Mendoza, with the regional transportation system that we have in the Columbia Gorge through Mid-Columbia Economic Development District, Gorge Transit, the Link, all of these fantastic services that we need to keep going. So again, reaching everyone, but especially underserved populations who don't have transportation otherwise. People are isolated, stranded without services like this. So congratulations for all your good work. With that, I think I'll give people back another 4 minutes of their day. I hope the week is going well for all of you. Let's keep a positive face on everything. I know these are weird times, but enjoy the rest of the week. Have a good weekend on behalf of the chamber. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you, Dan. Okay.